Good morning. I'm Ricky Griffin. I'm head of the Department of Management in Mays Business School at Texas A&M University. I'm going to be the instructor in the first course in the new MS-HRM program that Texas A&M is offering in conjunction with Saudi Aramco. What I'm going to do in this session is to provide a brief overview of the course, discuss the syllabus, talk about the introduction to the field itself, and then outline some of my expectations and make sure that we're clear on what we're going to do the first day that we're together in a few weeks. So the syllabus will be sent to you separately. The syllabus outlines reading requirements, what we're going to do exactly in terms of topical coverage. It provides information about a textbook and a series of Harvard cases. It's really important that you follow the syllabus closely. It outlines the schedule of topics, the requirements of the course, when those requirements are due, my expectations, and a variety of other important considerations. If you read the syllabus before class starts and you have questions, please feel free to email me with those questions in advance, and I'll respond to them as quickly as I can. The course that we're going to be taking together is Organizational Behavior, Management 630. So what I'd like to do now is to briefly introduce you to what organizational behavior is. Organizational behavior is the study of three things: human behavior in organizational settings, the interaction between human behavior and the organization, and then the organization itself. So to illustrate how those 3 points work, consider this. People enter an organization with predispositions, motivation, personality traits, attitudes, capabilities, performance expectations, and so forth. People exist as human beings independently of any organization. So what we're focusing on first is how the behavior of those people contribute to the behaviors of others, as well as to the organizational functioning and overall performance and long-term success. So the first point that we'll consider and spend time on is human behavior in organizational settings. Of course, individuals also interact with the organization itself. There's an interface. So when they come to work, they talk to other people, they work with their colleagues, they visit with their supervisor, they communicate with people in the organization, they engage in a wide variety of behaviors. Their behavior affects the organization, and the organization also affects them and their behavior. And then finally, organizational behavior is concerned with the study of the organization itself. Organizations exist, for the most part, before any given individual ever enters them. They will exist after the person departs. So we're also interested in knowing more about the organization itself, independent of behavior of people within the organization. So the three components again are the study of human behavior in organizational settings, the interface between human behavior and the organization itself, and then the study of the organization. Organizational behavior is important, and I think as people who are interested in human resource management, you already recognize and appreciate the importance of behavior in organizations. But we can take just a few minutes and extrapolate even further as to why this is such an important field of study. Most people are born and educated in organizations. Most people acquire most of their material possessions from organizations. And many people die as members of an organization. Moreover, throughout most of our working life, people spend much of their day in organizational settings. We get up in the morning, we go to work, and we stay at work for several hours, and then we come home for the evening. Many of our daily activities are regulated by government organizations, and we also interface with educational organizations, healthcare organizations, and various for-profit organizations as customers, consumers, suppliers, and investors. So clearly it's important that we learn as much as we can about organizations and the behavior of the individuals who comprise those organizations. Hence, I think it's clear that understanding the importance of organizational behavior is a critical part of effective human resource management. Okay, so to continue this logic a bit further, We can also ask the question of why do we study organizational behavior within the context of management? Essentially, organizational behavior can clarify a number of factors that affect how managers work. It helps us describe the complex context of human behavior in organizations. It also helps us define associated opportunities, challenges, problems, and issues that confront management on a daily basis that relate to human behavior. It also helps us to isolate important aspects of the manager's job that focus on organizational behavior. And it helps us by offering specific perspectives on the human side of management in organizations. To further underscore the importance of organizational behavior and why it's worth studying as a part of human resource management is to understand in more detail how OB helps managers actually understand various aspects of organizations. So, for example, it helps understand the behavior of individuals by focusing on personal needs, motivation, stress, individual differences, as well as how they interact with others, how they respond to different forms of leadership, how they make decisions, how they work with others in groups, how they resolve conflict, and how they communicate with other people. So human behavior, as is manifested by individuals, as well as human behavior in the organization itself and how those two things interact. Finally, and in addition, organizational behavior also helps us know more about the impact of the environment, technology, and global issues, and how both individuals affect the organization's response to these forces, and how these forces affect individual behavior in organizations. Now, to relate organizational behavior more specifically to the management process, we can step back and take a few minutes to talk about the management process itself. Most frameworks of management focus on four basic functions. Managers plan, they organize, they lead, and they control. Organizational behavior plays an important role in each of these four functions. For example, take planning. Planning involves helping to determine where the organization wants to direct itself in the future. That is, we're here today, and then in 5 years we want to be at a different spot, different markets, different size, different capabilities, etc. Well, in formulating plans and engaging in the strategy process, an individual's predisposition to accept risk, the perception of how the environment is moving, and various other factors such as this play a role. Likewise, the leading function is heavily dependent on the behavior of other people. If an individual is going to be a successful leader, she or he must know really thoroughly the needs and motivation of the people that he or she is attempting to lead. Now, organizations also focus these activities or these functions toward a set of resources: human resources, financial resources, physical resources, and information resources. You can almost think about these factors as though the manager is preparing to bake a cake. If you're going to bake a cake, you take a set of ingredients: flour, sugar, eggs, and so forth, and you put them in a bowl. And then you use various tools to combine these things. An organization has at its disposal an array of different resources, and what managers do is to take these resources, figure out how to combine them as effectively and as efficiently as possible. The awareness of these resources, an understanding of how they interact, an understanding of how they should be combined most effectively, all of these issues come from human behavior. And so again, this underscores the importance of understanding human behavior as a part of effective human resource management. So to summarize, managers have four basic functions: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, and they direct these functions at a set of resources. If a manager can engage in these functions effectively and combine the resources effectively and efficiently, the organization is going to have a higher likelihood of achieving its goals. So in conclusion, let's talk just a couple of minutes about my expectations of you and what you can expect from me. You will receive a syllabus as well as some PDF files with Harvard cases, and you'll be responsible for a textbook. Read the syllabus in advance and be prepared. It's really that straightforward. Read the assigned material on the day for which it's assigned. Do the required writing and analysis, and be prepared to submit that and discuss it on the assigned days. When we come to class for the first day, I'd like to begin on time and make optimal use of our time. It's in no one's best interest for us to spend a lot of time getting started every day, because then we just have to hurry toward the end of this session. What you can expect from me is that I will be in class on time, I'll be prepared, and I'll be responsive to your questions and concerns. So hopefully in this short video, I've introduced you to the topic that we're going to be covering and told you a little bit about my expectations of you and outlined my expectations for myself as we journey through this course together. I've had the privilege of visiting the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the past to teach other classes as part of a previous program. So I have some familiarity with what I can expect from you and what our sessions will be like. Of course, I also have a lot more to learn. So I look forward to seeing you all soon. I hope that you'll find this course to be enjoyable and beneficial. Till then, see you soon.